You hatch into a world where being born cute is a serious medical condition. Warm floodplains stretch around you, packed with ferns. Muddy ground and thick vegetation, taller than you can even see over. Somewhere, in what will one day be called Western North America, your egg cracks open, light hits your face, and within minutes you discover a terrible truth. You are not a tank yet. Right now, you are just a tiny hornless snack with legs. The nest is chaos. Broken shells everywhere, siblings stumbling over each other, every movement clumsy, every sound way too loud for something this vulnerable. At your size, basically anything with teeth can look at you and think, yeah, that seems manageable. So your first goal is simple. Stay close, stay hidden, and do not volunteer to be the easiest meal in the area. You keep low in brush and mud, while the larger adults around you do most of the protecting. You are not built to fight, not even a little. Your famous horns? Not here yet. Your skull frill? Barely worth mentioning. The face that will one day make predators think twice. Currently inspires the exact opposite reaction. Still, you have one advantage. If you survive, you will not stay weak for long. So you eat constantly. Soft plants, tender shoots, low vegetation. Anything you can tear at with your little beak before something moves in the grass and reminds you that the food chain is root. Triceratops was a herbivore, and its beak and tooth batteries were built for processing plant material, not meat. For now, survival is not about winning, it is about lasting long enough to become a problem. And then comes the worst phase of your life. You start growing, which sounds good, until you realize it creates a brand new issue. You are now too big to hide easily, but still too weak to scare anything important. Congratulations, you are in the awkward middle. Your body gets heavier, your head gets broader. Small horns begin to develop, but right now they are less legendary weapon and more decorative suggestion. You are sturdier than you were as a hatchling, but not sturdy enough to act brave on purpose. So this stage is all about practice. You learn how to feed more efficiently. Your beak gets better at stripping low plants, and your jaws start doing the real work. Triceratops had powerful dental batteries for shearing tough vegetation, which is great news if you are a plant and were hoping to remain attached to the ground. You also learn the most important skill any young herbivore can have, reading danger before danger commits. A shadow in the tree line, a sudden silence in the brush, the wrong movement at the edge of the floodplain. Every one of those could mean a predator checking whether you are separated enough, slow enough, or stupid enough. You try very hard not to be any of those things, and slowly the changes start adding up. Your frame thickens, your stance gets lower and more solid, the frill behind your head grows wider. The horns get longer, not huge yet, but enough that charging into you starts looking less convenient. For the first time, survival is not just about avoiding attention, it is about becoming expensive to attack. This is where your life starts getting fun, because the older you get, the less this face looks like prey, and the more it looks like an argument nobody wants to have. Your skull becomes one of the most ridiculous weapons any herbivore ever carried. 3 horns, a powerful beak, a giant bony frill. Triceratops had one of the most striking skulls of any land animal, and that is not subtle scientific wording. That is just the truth. By now, predators do not just see meat, they see consequences. You are still not invincible, large carnivores are still dangerous, and one bad mistake can still end badly. But now, charging you head-on is no longer a casual decision. You are heavy, grounded, and increasingly built for violent disagreement. So when danger does come, you do not react like the hatchling you used to be. You lower your head, you square your stance, you point a horned face directly at the problem and let it decide how badly it wants this. A lot of the time, that is enough, and when it is not, you have the mass to back it up. You shove, slam, and drive forward with the kind of force that makes even big predators reconsider their life choices. Your horns are not decoration anymore. They are policy. This is the turning point of your story. You spent the first part of your life hoping not to get singled out. Now you are the reason something else backs off first. Now you are fully grown and the transformation is complete. You are huge. A low, broad, heavily built herbivore with a head that looks like nature lost an argument with itself and just kept adding weapons. Your 3 horns and massive frill make you one of the most recognizable dinosaurs ever, and more importantly for you, one of the least appealing targets in the floodplain. At this stage, you do not need to chase anything, you do not need to ambush anything, you just need to exist in your space like you mean it. You feed constantly, stripping and shearing through vegetation, building and maintaining the enormous body that took years to earn. Your life is not flashy in the same way a giant predator's is, but there is a different kind of power in being the wall that cannot be casually moved. And then comes mating season. Now the horns and frill matter in a new way. They are not just for surviving predators, they are for display, for status, for confrontation with others of your own kind. There is fossil evidence consistent with horn-related combat in Triceratops, which means those dramatic face-offs were probably not just for show. So, you posture, you size up rivals. Sometimes the warning is enough, sometimes it is not. When it turns physical, it is brutal. Horn against horn, skull against skull, two heavily built giants trying to force the other backward. It is exhausting, dangerous, and absolutely the kind of thing that seemed like a much better idea before it started. But eventually, you win enough. You hold your ground, you reproduce, and somewhere nearby, the next generation begins exactly the same miserable journey, from tiny prey to armored nightmare. But even a walking tank has an expiration date. At first, age is subtle. You still look massive, still dangerous, still more than capable of making a predator think twice. But the edge starts slipping. Recovery takes longer. Pushing through dense ground takes more effort. Every confrontation costs a little more than it used to. You can still defend yourself, you just cannot do it for free anymore. That matters because the world does not get kinder when you are tired. Younger adults are stronger, fresher, and more willing to test boundaries. Predators still watch for weakness. Even feeding becomes harder when a body this large needs constant fuel and the day feels heavier than it used to. So your life narrows. Less movement, more caution. Fewer pointless confrontations. You are still impressive, but you are no longer the future. You are the old giant everyone reads carefully, the one that can still hurt you badly, but not forever. And then, one day, that becomes the whole story. You stand in the fading light over the floodplain, breathing slower, carrying the scars and weight of a life spent growing from helpless prey into something almost no one wanted to challenge directly. Around you, the world keeps moving, plants keep growing, predators keep hunting. Younger Triceratops keep rising into the role you once earned. You began life as an easy target. You turned into a living battering ram with a face full of bad news. And in the end, even you become part of the landscape you spent your whole life surviving.